you ready? Are you steady?
Yes.
So proud.
Teeth check.
Hi and welcome to Arya Bark Vlogmas 2020 Day 20. How are you? Hope you're well. Mr. Bark has graced us with his presence. What we're doing is we're going to jump straight in and open today's advent. You're holding out for the chocolate, aren't you? We have a little snowman. There you go, you can have that one. Oh, because there's...
Thank you, really. I love it.
Yeah. I was going to swear there.
Are you allowed to swear on your podcast?
No.
Would you get in trouble?
Mm.
Would YouTube block you?
I don't think YouTube would block me because my thing is no for kids. This is today's advent. Is that black or blue? Can't tell the difference.
Purple. It's different shades of purple with sparkles.
As sparkly. I'll take a picture. Actually, it doesn't matter if I take a picture, it's still not going to show up right.
Remember, if you need to focus it on the camera, you've got to do that.
Really? You're mean. Oh, this has got a tag. It is from upside down. Mothie and the Squid, and it's Distant Galaxies, and it's a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% lurex. I absolutely love that. I can't wait to get that in my blanket.
That is really nice.
It's quite pretty.
I know you're colourblind so you couldn't see it, but it has different colours of purple.
It looks black.
Because it's like a purple, and it's like either a dark blue or a black, so it's like either a purple and a black or a purple and a dark blue. But it is
I
really
will
pretty.
take your word for that.
It is really pretty. Thank you, really.
Thank you. And this is why I don't podcast with you.
I'm just trying to help you. I may take over the mantle one day.
You need to learn how to knit.
Probably.
Can you remember the last time you learned how to knit, Ryan?
I tried.
The air was blue.
I tried.
You did try to cast on 200 and odd stitches by yourself.
You
Right, that's
you
not
know
worth it.
I'm not any good with fiddly stuff. I get frustrated easily.
Coming for the guy who fixes boilers. How fiddly can that be?
Fixes is a strong word.
Right, we are going to do Ask Mr. Bark questions. Now, what I'm going to do, I do have... Look at you sweat. 3 pages. Now, I made the executive decision earlier on that I'm going to ask my lovely subscribers questions first.
Should I not have been given the questions in advance so I could at least prepare? Because
What, so you can cheat?
because your podcast might go on for about 3 hours till I come up with a political answer to the questions.
Ah, but it's fine, I can edit that out though.
Alright, okay. Go.
So for them it'll be like 10 minutes. For ours it'll be like,
About
this
4
will
hours.
go up like, on Thursday. Right, so the first question is from Jane from Mouse Nicks and Crafts.
Hi Jane.
Hello Jane! What do you really think about moustache?
You said no swearing on your podcast. Just kidding. In all honesty, what do I really think about your stash? It takes up a lot of space.
Yes.
It does take up a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
Which means there's less space for my stuff.
You've got the garage though.
A fair point. I've got the garage. Your stash doesn't actually bother me that much because I like to see you happy, and your stash makes you happy.
And you're looking for brownie points, Ryan, aren't you?
No, but I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with your stash. I know it makes you happy, and so that's really all it counts.
Happy me, happy you.
That's what I'm hoping.
What colour are your favourite socks that I've knitted you? That's
Ooh.
for Jane as well.
That's an easy one because I like the blue ones.
That helps to do with 5 pairs of socks.
Quite a few different blue ones.
Uh-huh.
I could go and get them.
Right, go on then. That's your new ones.
These ones I'd say were my favourite colour because I like the different shades of blue.
Mm-hmm.
I like the variegated
They're stripes.
stripes. I like the stripes. I like the stripes. I like the blues and it looks like greys and I really like that. I like the shading effect in it. That one's my favourite. That's my favourite colour.
You like blues.
Yes, I like blues and that one's my favourite one.
You did like your ferret feet socks once.
I like my favourite.
Until they developed a hole.
I know, because of me. But I would say that's my favourite colour.
Half and half, me and you.
They're kind of like a mix blue.
You like blues, shades of blues.
I like shades of blues and that one's nice. It's not just all one colour. It's got a few different colours in it. It's got different shades. So that one's my favourite. Thank you, Jane.
Is there any socks I've knitted you didn't like?
I like them all. A bit of them all.
You're a bit no fussy, you.
Nah.
The next question's from Heather. I'm actually interested in this answer. How much do you think an average garment would cost to knit?
Depends on the quality of yarn you're using, because if it's higher quality yarn it's going to be more expensive to buy, therefore making the garment more expensive to knit. But I would say off the top of my head I'll bet it would be in the region of about £50 to £60.
About that. Andrew says, well, the whatever sweater I knitted, that was 4, 18, 36, 60, 72. And I'm going to leave the counting there.
I suppose if you were using your pound stretcher yarn, then it probably costs about £3.50.
Hi. Hi. £7.
So I would say the answer depends on the quality of yarn you're using, because it would be more
It
expensive.
does depend. Obviously the wool that I need to buy for him, for Asda's, that's what, $2.99, and I need 4 or 5, so that's like £12-15.
I think that's a really good question though. I think that is a really good question, but I think I answered that one well.
See, I don't think these are going to be as hard for you. There's a couple in them that I really want to know the answer to.
I'm a knitting expert.
Well, we'll see that. Have you ever asked me to knit you something and I've refused?
Never. Never ever ever.
No, there was. Mind your black leg warmers. Your black cabled leg warmers.
I don't think you properly refused, I just think you pointed out that
It started with an F and finished with an F.
Possibly. Did I not suggest a willy warmer as well though? And I think you might have said no to
No, I said I was going to knit you on. From Raylene, what's my favourite thing to knit?
Your favourite thing to knit? Part of me thinks part of me would say your favourite thing to knit would be socks because you knit a lot of socks, but I honestly think, to put it in general terms, I think your favourite thing to knit would be something that you don't have to put a lot of thought into, something where I think you've said before you're knitting in the round, so you're just doing the same thing repeatedly, because that way you could watch the programmes that you like on the telly and knit at the same time, and that's I think that'd be my answer. So I think your favourite thing to knit is not a particular item, but I think it'd be something that doesn't require a lot of mental input, so you could just work away on it, which you usually get them done really quick, plus you can watch programmes on the telly at the same time.
I think it's about half and half. Socks, and I've known knitted a lot of socks this year. Your pair, Andrew's pair. I think that's it.
You do.
Oh no, I did finish a pair of socks that you landed up with because I picked the heel in the wrong place.
So obviously you've done the cowl, you've done my hat. Did you do my hat? Was it a hat you did?
Why are you and him constantly trying to nick the milkman's hat?
Sorry, that was for the milkman. I really wanted that hat, by the way, because that was a nice hat. And
Nick your hat.
the milkman gets it.
He's 96.
Which means he probably wouldn't remember getting a hat, so I could technically keep it.
You're mean.
He does deserve his hat, but I would like it more.
I'll knit your hat. Right.
So, you've done...
You buy the wool, I'll knit the hat.
You've knitted loads of stuff for me. It's
I have
all been
actually.
ace. It has all been ace.
I did moan that he was never wearing that one. I still never fix the bottom of that. Go mind me later on to fix the bottom of that. Right, so we're going to go into the questions.
That's a lot of questions.
Hi, it's 46. They're interesting. That might actually be the same question as Jane's. What's your favourite thing that I've knitted for you?
Oh, that's a slightly different question. It's a slightly
It
different
is slightly
question.
different.
My favourite thing that you've knit for me.
Bear in mind you've got, what, 8 pairs of socks?
I know. It's a hard one to answer because
3 cowls.
I like them. I do like them all. I'm going to go with, it's a hard one to pick, but this one's possibly my favourite jumper.
And see, I would have said, between the 2 jumpers, I would have said
The baggier one I wear more often, but I'd say I probably like this one the best. The baggier one I do wear most often because it's baggier, but I really like this one. I like the colour and I like the pattern on it. And my new cowl that you've done for me there, I'd say my 2 favourite things so far.
the cowl and...
The new cowl and this
I'll
jumper.
stick links up above and down below. Actually, I'll pin a comment because I keep getting moaned at. I'm not pinning comments. Do you have a favourite thing that I've knit in general?
Milkman's hat.
You're the 10 years wrong away with that milkman's hat.
Favourite thing you've knit in general? See, there's a lot of the stuff you've done that I really like that you've done for yourself.
My hollyberry socks, you walked away with them.
There's a lot of things that you've done I really like. I don't think I could pick.
You like the sofa blanket that I made you? The big fluffy thing.
Fluffy. The question was again, it was favourite.
What's the favourite thing that I've knit in general?
Full stop. I couldn't pick. That is a really good question, and I've got a rubbish answer to that one. I've got a rubbish answer because I really like all the stuff you've done. 'Cause everything you do, when I see it, I think that is really nice.
Apart from that jumper I tried to get you to wear, but you refused. The big one. How long have I been knitting?
I can remember you telling me this because your gran taught you to knit, and I would say since you were about 12, 13.
Wee bit younger than that, because that would have put me in high school at 12.
10?
Between 8 and 10, because I can't actually remember because my memory's shocking.
It's close. It's a long time basically.
Well, started, it didn't actually properly knit until... When did we move to Orkney?
2006.
2006, so it was about 2007 then.
It would have been 'cause I can't remember you knitting much before then.
So about 2007. Would you go to a fibre festival with me? Yes, you have.
I've went to quite a few weeks. I went to Edinburgh Yarn Festival, Perth Yarn Festival.
Mm-hmm. That's too right. That's not a few weeks to.
I thought there was probably no.
No. You've been to yarn shops with me, and that's been a lot.
True, but fair enough.
Rejects.
There was,
Willy Brew.
The festival at the Willy Brew. 'Cause
They done a pop-up shop at the Willy
so
Brew.
there's 3. It was technically a festival. 3.
Oh, Kempton, it's not the Willy Brew you're thinking about. You're thinking about the Ferret Fest.
No, there was the one up in Crail, Armstrong.
That's the Willy Brew. That was a
Willy Brew.
pop-up shop.
Right, so it wasn't really a festival.
No.
But the Ferret Fest one was.
The Ferret Fest was
So there's 3, possibly 4.
that one time that I left my knitting,
Aye.
and I seen the message. Where were we? Ladybank.
We were a fair bit away, we had to go back. Did we go back?
No, because you were on call, and you had to be back for. You had to be back for 4:30 for going on call, and I had to go back on the Tuesday. Because I think she was shut on the Monday, and I had to drive up on the Tuesday and pick my knitting back up. Does it bother you when I drag you to yarn stores?
No. Don't really bother about that.
Well, you find some of them.
I find some of them. I suppose for me, if I'm not interested in knitting, I suppose sometimes boring's not really the word, but it's not really for me. But I don't mind going because I do like different colours and stuff like that. So like, I quite like to see what shops I've got. But it's probably not as exciting for me as what it is for you. But I don't mind going. Doesn't bother me.
You get to pick your own colours.
I get to pick my own colours.
That I then use in other projects and you never see it again.
I haven't noticed that.
What is the coolest thing that you've learnt from my addiction?
Coolest thing?
Mm-hmm. I need to stick my leg up.
Coolest thing? But you actually get different kinds of sheep. I just thought sheep were sheep. I didn't realise you got so many different types and kinds of sheep. Jacobs and other sheep.
Your technical knowledge is really coming out, Ryan. Jacobs.
There's another one. I was going to say Angora, but that's a goat.
That's a rabbit.
It's not a goat, it's an Angora goat or something like that.
You know, hanging
Alpaca maybe.
That's not. Alpaca's an alpaca, right? Alpaca's on the sheep.
I've not got a clue.
You just made this up as you go along. You did so well.
I honestly do think it's like the different types of sheep because there's quite a lot of cool stuff to it. Your loom's cool. There is a lot of cool stuff to knitting. It's not something that majorly interests me, but the different types of things you can do, the different patterns, and like when you some of the stuff you've done, I thought that was really fancy. That was really cool. And like as I say, go back to it. The fact that you get different types of sheep, I thought it was
like
really
alpaca.
I just thought sheep are sheep. They've got white or black wool on them, and they're sheep.
Oh,
So that was quite cool because I'm kind of interested in animals.
Have you ever wanted to knit yourself?
No, because I'm no good with fiddly stuff. Something that requires that level of concentration and that is really fiddly, absolutely does my head in. I get frustrated and I would get angry with it really easily. So
mind you saying that, you did cast on a buttload of stitches and you done really well, because I did keep saying to you, want me to do it for you, you're like, nope, I will do it on my own. I will do it on my own.
I did want to do it myself, but for me knitting, it's too repetitive and too fiddly, and so I would say no to that question, sorry.
Where did it go to? Does it bother you when I buy yarn?
No, definitely not. Because generally when you're buying it to knit stuff, a lot of stuff for me.
You get the vast majority of the stuff that in it.
And let's face it, I buy a lot of crap as well, and you didn't really bother about all the stuff I buy, so I would have a cheek to complain about you. I thought they were bigger.
How much did you pay for them?
£12 for them to reduce them down to $4.99 2 days later, and I thought they were bigger.
They were to sit in the garden. They're actually quite bonny. Go pass me the other one, because the other one's got a wee snow on it.
They're quite nice, but I wouldn't have said £12 nice, so. But they're quite nice.
They're quite bonny. They'll do for next year. What do you think about me podcasting?
That's a good question. It's modern. It's a modern thing to do. It's a very modern thing to do. I think it's really cool, you podcasting as well.
If you ever tell anybody.
What's wrong with telling folk that you podcast? Got to get these subscribers up somehow.
Next thing I'll be full. Next thing my analytics are just going to be a whole load of British gas engineers.
No, I think it's really cool that you podcast, because it's a modern thing to do, isn't it? So I like the fact that you podcast.
You like making fun of the fact that I podcast.
I like watching your podcast and I like making fun of you in your podcasts.
What's your favourite joke?
Favourite joke?
What's the favourite thing you like to make fun of me for?
Oh, when you hold something up to the camera to get it to focus, and instead of like doing that what everybody else does, you go
Yep. Peeking at the questions.
I wasn't. I didn't want to get a unfair advantage.
Do you know the difference in the weights of yarn? Ring them. Oh.
2-ply,
Yep.
4-ply,
Yep.
finger and weight, lightweight. 2-ply, 4-ply,
You missed it, 3-ply.
2-ply, 3-ply, 4-ply, finger and weight. There is another one.
There's another 2, 3, 4. 4.
Do you even know them all? Sorry, the question's only for you, they're for me.
Lace weight.
Lace weight, right.
2-ply.
3-ply,
3-ply.
4-ply.
4-ply and fingering are the same.
4-ply and finger on the same.
Aye,
Right.
it's fingering there in America, it's 4-ply here.
Variegated.
That's no weight, that's a technique.
I was trying to show off it, isn't it? Wrong.
You are, and it failed dramatically because we don't know what variegated is. Sport, DK, Arden are worsted, chunky, and bulky.
Oh. There's something else cool that I've learned.
That will go out your head as soon as we stop recording. Do you have a favourite yarn company or indie dyer?
Oh. Still, I would say still Leona for ferret feet.
I bought Leona stuff. And I purposely never bought any more of Leona stuff because, like, I've got an entire cube of stuff.
I know,
that's
you do have a
just
lot of the ferret feet stuff, but I would say Leona, but I'm not really that familiar with
no ferret feet. Rusty ferret.
Rusty ferret.
Ferret feet were on socks.
So they were, sorry. Just plugging your pattern for me.
Just keep plugging that pattern round. Keep plugging that pattern.
Rusty ferret yarns. Is that it was Rusty
It
ferret
was
yarns?
Rusty ferret.
Leona. I would say Leona, but I'm not really familiar with a lot of indie dyers. It was dyers, wasn't it?
It just says yarn company.
Yarn company.
Favourite yarn company and dyer, West Yorkshire Spinners. You quite like them for your socks.
I would say because they done the candy cane socks. So I would say
yeah.
Leona as an indie dyer. Leona for Rusty Ferret yarns and West Yorkshire Spinners. I like the name. I like the names. I'll go
You're
with
a
the
name
names.
person,
I'm a name person.
Do you know how much an average skein of yarn costs? Yes, you do.
Again, it depends on the quality. So if it's like an indie dyed one, obviously you could be paying £18 to £26 for a skein of yarn.
Oh, 32.
Aye, but if it's, you could just as equally get a skein of yarn for like £4.99. Pound stretchers.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry, I like pound stretchers.
Is that a right answer?
That is the correct answer.
Do I win anything for the correct answers? No.
We will discuss that later.
Cool.
You can have some socks.
Thank you.
If I were to ask you to buy me yarn, what would you do? Apart from the obvious answer, which is buy it.
I would ask you to be more specific. If you just says buy me yarn, I would then say, would you like 2-ply, 3-ply, 4-ply, chunky, lace weight? I would be starting to ask these sorts of questions. Bulky, finger and weight. I would be asking these sorts of questions.
You would ask
And
these
colours.
sorts of questions.
And which budget range you would go for? And would you prefer just your basics, or would you prefer like your indie dyer? I'd be asking a lot of questions before I went and
Or
bought
go
it.
into pound stretchers and just clear off a shelf.
Or just go with pound stretchers and keep the rest for beer money. So yeah, if you ask me, I'd probably ask a lot more questions and just go and buy it.
See, I wouldn't just. I would actually tell you what I was on. Obviously, I don't say to you buy me yarn. I'd be like, I'm wanting this. Here's the list. You
Other
fund
than
that out the hard way this year.
Saying that, I would probably still pick them, and I'd still ask you about 20 times, is this right? Is this right before I order it? Is this right before I order it? So I think I would probably ask more questions about what exactly you wanted.
How much yarn do you think I buy in a month?
Do I have to answer that by meters?
No, I think they mean money wise.
Money wise, more than we can afford. People wonder why I'm so skinny. I don't eat because Carolyn buys so much yarn. That's why I'm so skinny. Feed me.
You're evil.
I would say it's probably not an awful lot. Maybe £50, £60.
Not even that.
Some months it might be more.
It depends. This month I've spent a lot. The month before, spent a lot. The month before that, not so much. See, when I buy yarn, I do it spectacularly, then feel guilty for about 6 months and don't buy anything.
True, true. Because you can go for months without buying any, and then you'll bulk buy.
Then I'll bulk buy.
I would say it varies from month to month. So
It
could be
month to month.
£50 1 month, nothing for 3 months, then £100, and then that might just be like the odd cheapy couple of balls of yarn again.
See, it's harder to do that this year because obviously I'm not going to shops.
True. Thank God for COVID. You can edit that bit.
No, I've said it twice. Can I yarn bomb the house? No. Mind you, sometimes I wonder if I want to have.
I was going to say, what's yarn bomb in the house? That's when you make loads of different stuff for the.
And it's just lying out all over the
It's
place.
everywhere. I don't think I'd like that. I think it'd be too much. I like the stuff that you have done. I think to have faux finished objects or the house draped or the couch and like seat covers and nah, I wouldn't like that.
Oh, wouldn't do it anyway.
Nope.
Oh, it was stinking.
I know.
Would you say I'm obsessed, interested, or dabbling in fibre?
Obsessed. It's got to be obsessed with the amount you do and the amount you buy and the amount we spend. See, the amount we spend, and the amount of time you spend. I'd go for obsessed.
I'm slightly.
Obsessed.
What's higher than obsessed? Because I've put myself in that category.
Psychotic.
Psychotic. Right, so what do these mean? FO,
Finished object.
UFO,
Unfinished object.
HO,
Half finished object.
yes, WIP,
Work in progress.
BFL, it's not an alpaca,
Blue faced Leicester.
yes, MCN,
Not got a clue about that one.
merino cashmere nylon, LYS,
Not got a clue about that one either.
local yarn shop,
I've never heard them ones before.
EYF,
Edinburgh Yarn Festival.
VKL. I don't think you'll have heard of that one.
I think I know it, but I can't put any words to it.
Vogue Knitting Live.
No, don't know that one.
SSK.
No.
Slip that. Tank Yo.
I do know that one. Tank. That's where you have to like rip back stuff back out again.
Knit backwards.
Knit backwards.
We don't use tank. It's illegal in Scotland. It's illegal to say tank in Scotland.
It's not legal to say tank in Scotland. There's plenty of tanks in Scotland.
Could you know? No, that's actually a normal thing.
They say tank.
Oh, because of its association with.
Huh?
Mhm. Mhm.
We always called each other tanks and cows and beef then.
Yes, well, that's why. You're not supposed to say that. Frog.
Frogging. Oh, I know that one. I know frogging. It's frogging when you have to rip stuff back out.
Mm-hmm.
But tanking's where you knit backwards because
Yeah.
it's knit backwards.
Knit backwards.
backwards.
If you could have me make you anything, what would it be?
A hat just like the milkman's. I really, honestly, sorry to bang on about it, but I really like the milkman's hat, and I've tried it on, it was perfect for me.
I will knit you another one.
I think if I could have anything, I think it would be a hat just like the milkman's, and
I
I'm
will
not
knit-
joking.
I will
'cause
knit
I
you
really like that hat.
a hat. I can't be in the same yarn because I've not got any merit, but I have got merit left, but not enough to make you a hat.
Other than that, it's a really good question actually, but other than that, I've pretty much got everything I would have wanted anyways, because I've got obviously my jumpers, my cowl. I've not a scarf, but the cowl's pretty much the same
I'm weaving
thing.
you one.
You've got to weave that scarf.
I'm going to weave you a scarf. That wool that Jane sent me and the Merlin, I'll make you a scarf.
She's done me my like big long gloves, fingerless gloves, so there's not anything else I would want apart from a hat. Just
You've
like
got more
milkman.
kills than
I know, I've got a lot of stuff.
Asda's. Do you wear things I would knit you?
Yes, all the
Because
time.
you're wearing them,
All the time.
apart from your socks. Mm-hmm.
I've not got my socks on the day, sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Nope. Another use for knitting needles would be...
Poking me when I say mean things.
Yes. When you're snoring, I can't hear the telly.
Another use for knitting needles.
Oh, it was a crochet hook I gave you to fix that boiler in.
Aye, it was just basically a wee fiddly switch. It was a wee crochet hook, and you need a really thin flatbed screwdriver to be able to be long enough to get into this hole to turn a wee notch inside. And you probably could have eventually found a flat blade screwdriver, but your crochet hook was just the perfect length and perfect thinness for me to get in to adjust it.
Mm-hmm. See? Come in handy for lots of things. Am I a product or a process knitter?
Process knitter.
Well done.
Process knitter. I know my stuff sometimes. I know my
I'm
stuff.
impressed.
I know my stuff. I pay attention. It's on here.
I'm thoroughly impressed. What is my stash really like? Do you think I could do with more or less, and why?
Was that another one about what do I think of your stash?
No, Jane had asked, what do you really think about my stash?
And what was this one? Sorry, what?
What's my stash really like, apart from words?
Caroline's stash is everywhere, anywhere.
Here.
There's bits and pieces
Here.
everywhere. You open a bag, you'll find
There.
bits. You go into a cupboard, you'll find stuff. It is literally everywhere. And I don't mind that too much. It would probably be unfair to say she needs less, because I think I would get in trouble for that. So I think it wouldn't be fair for me to say she needs less. But until she's used up a lot of what she already has, I also don't think she needs any more.
Nice answer.
I think that was a political answer.
That was a political answer, and I agree with that.
I'm good at this.
You're getting really good at this. How do fibre crafts help me?
Take your mind off aches and pains.
Mm-hmm.
Give you something to do with spare time you have, so you don't get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously I keep you occupied and amused when I come home from work. So
Yes, you
obviously
do.
you need something to fill in your time for when I'm not here to amuse you. And I think it's like a therapy. For a lot of people I think crafts, any sort of crafts, therapeutic, really, isn't it? Like a serious answer, I think it's therapeutic for a lot of people. So I would say for you, therapeutic, and also to use it to pass the time when you're waiting on me, like when I was in for my haircut the other day. So like
Finish soak.
it's therapeutic and a way to pass away the time, I would say.
I would say so. Number 24 is just the same question. Can you explain the difference between knitting, crochet, weaving and spinning?
I think so. Knitting, you use knitting needles.
Mm-hmm.
Crochet, you use crochet hooks.
Mm-hmm.
Weaving is basically another way to knit and crochet without knitting needles or crochet hooks.
Is that because you don't know how weaving works yet, right?
Well, I don't totally understand how weaving, well I do know how weaving works, but at the end of the day, if you think about it, crochet, knitting and weaving are pretty much the same, because you're creating certain actions
Mm-hmm.
to join and weave yarn together
Mm-hmm.
to create a finished object. So knitting, crocheting and weaving are technically the same thing if you look at it from that perspective.
It does create a fabric, so I get your point.
It does create an object for like joining yarn together
Mm-hmm.
using a process. Kind
I'm
of.
just watching what my fingers are doing.
So knitting you use knitting needles,
Mhm.
crochet you use crochet hooks, and
Mhm.
it's a different techniques for crochet and knitting, and weaving's a different technique again. Whereas, and what was the other bit?
Spinning.
Spinning, you're using fibre to create it into yarn that you could then use for knitting, crochet and weaving.
Me and you've been together for too long.
Is that a good answer?
You've answered all the questions right so far.
Well, semi-right.
Well, apart from the
Close-ish.
alpacas a sheep. How do you explain me being a knitter to others?
If I was explaining to her, I could just say she does knitting and crochet stuff and crafty type stuff, and she does like weaving and she does spinning and all that sort of stuff. That's just how I explain it to her. She does
She knits.
She knits stuff and crochet stuff, and like if I'm wearing it, I'll go like, she done this for me, and that, I don't know how else to explain it. I usually, because if you say
These folk know what knitting is.
if I said to somebody who's a non-crafter, she does craft stuff, they'll think like you do like wee Christmas cards and stick wee stuff to it and that. It's like, well no, she actually like knits and crochets and that sort of stuff. So not folk outside this circle don't get it. So I usually say,
Are you in the
I'm
circle?
in a circle. I think I've qualified myself as being in a circle now. I'll be like on your Zoom meetings and everything because I'm like kind of like an expert who can actually knit or crochet almost. So to non-folk outside this circle, first rule about knit club, you don't talk about knit club.
Good
So
job.
that's how I explain it. Long-winded answer, but that's how I explain it.
We don't talk about it, we're allowed to talk about it.
Don't discuss it.
What is something you'd really need to keep this answer coming? You really need to keep this answer
I'll
coming.
try.
What is something you wish I liked to do as much as I like to knit?
Make me cups of tea. But if you do make like, nah, serious answer. What would I like that you've done as much as you?
And it needs to be clean because I know the answer you want to give.
That's a difficult one to answer. What would I wish? What would I wish you'd done as much as you knit? Because there's not anything I could honestly think of that I could honestly say, I wish you'd done this as much as you knit, and I think anybody would be the same. There wouldn't be any clean answer to that.
For a male, there isn't a clean answer.
For a male, there wouldn't be a clean answer. It would just be crass, to be honest with you. So I mean, there isn't really anything I wish you would do as much as you knitted.
Mere jumpers. I wish you knitted me mere jumpers. Done that one. If I were to die tomorrow, what would you do with all my fibre stuff?
That's dark.
That's dark.
That's dark. That's dark.
That's dark. Us crafters are a dark
Funnily
bunch.
enough, I have actually thought of this before. Because I have actually.
Is that when you were going to bump me off?
This is because I am dark. I have thought, if something happened to you, what would I do with all this stuff? Because you're talking like your e-spinner, your loom. But what actually would I do with that stuff? Because I can honestly say I would not just chuck it all. I would not, because I know how much all this stuff
I would
costs.
actually come back to haunt your ass if you were to chuck it.
I would not bin it. I can say honestly, I would not just get chucked. So I probably would, if there was like charity type places. So obviously,
I would watch your answers carefully because I'm about to come back and haunt your ass.
to explain, because I did bring this up, because obviously you have had on your podcast, like you've got a loom and all the rest of it, and obviously it might look that you're snobby, and I would like to bring this up on your vlog.
Yeah.
That just so people know, the reason we have the money for that stuff now is because through my work I was on a 2-year secondment, and on that secondment my work says to me, we will pay you extra money for being on that secondment.
Well, you weren't paid extra money.
No,
It was money that was due to you that was held back for 2
that's what I was
years.
going to say. I was going to get paid money for being on a secondment in my work. They said to keep people on the secondment, they said we'll pay you so much yet and you will get the rest in 2 years time. So because we had that extra money is how we were able to get all that extra stuff.
Yes. It will not be happening on a regular basis.
It's not something we would generally be able to do all the time.
No.
Just buy like a weaving loom. You're yarning that, fair enough, but it's just so folks don't think you're like some folk who are like, oh, I've bought this and oh, I've bought that and look how much I spent and look how much I spent and look how much money I have. You're not like that, and I just wanted to clear that up for people who might think you're one of these like, I spent lots of money this month when you've not.
No, I am very spoiled.
We've been lucky this month that we have been able to buy that extra stuff, and like because I know how much this stuff costs, I would not bin it. So I would give a lot of it away, give some of it away to charity shops, like yarn and stuff like that, and I would find somebody who I think's more in need of it. Obviously you wouldn't have been needed because you wouldn't be here. Somebody who'd be more needy it, I would give away like your e-spinner and your looms. I would basically
so making a wow.
I would do my own wee vlog, like Arya Bark Designs final vlog,
right,
and say, who wants to win a loom? Raffle tickets, and I would make some of that money back.
I'll make a wow. How's that? I'll make a wow. I hereby bequeath all my worldly possessions.
That's my answer.
Is that your answer?
I would give it away to people who would, not even people who would be more than needy it, people who would make use of it and look after it. I would give it away to them.
The answer to that question was Jane.
I'd give it away to Jane. I didn't think it was fair to like name specific people, but I have people in mind that I would give it to, who I think would be deserving of it and would put it to good use.
No, but I'm sure I already said to Jane
That she could have a run.
that she can have all my stuff.
That's fair enough.
And she's definitely in a mind spanner.
I would still raffle it first.
No, I would come back and point.
I'm just kidding.
No, I've said to Jane, if I was to kick bucket,
Get an early for your raffle tickets, Jane.
oh good God, I've lost where does it embarrass you when I'm in public?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
It depends where I'm at.
It depends where we are. I think initially, like if we were out for something to eat and all of a sudden you pull out your knit and started knitting, I'd be like, oh my God, please put it away. Please put it away. But no, it doesn't bother me. If we went to the pictures or something like that, and in between like if we were waiting for the pictures to start and you're sitting knitting, I'd be like, oh, please don't.
You did put your foot down at me and take my knitting to the pictures.
Or like when we went to see like Aurora and concert and stuff like that.
You were not best impressed with my knitting was on my back. I'm surprised that wasn't taken off me.
That's just considering you had knitting needles.
I had higher sharps, by the way.
Aye. I'm surprised.
And
I
they
didn't find
security checked me.
I'm surprised I didn't get taken off you. But I wouldn't say it embarrasses me less now than what it did before. I've gotten used to it. I've gotten used to it.
If I, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not bullied.
Browbeaten?
That's the word I was looking for. Have I browbeaten you?
Pretty much.
Does it embarrass you when I knit at family gatherings?
Nah, because your family are used to you doing it anyway, so it doesn't embarrass me.
See, that's the thing, I don't. I knit at your dad's, but it's mostly like my family that I knit.
Probably wouldn't embarrass me. I think if I was even going to say if I went to Auntie Gracie's for dinner and you started knitting, it would bother me, but considering she knits as well, it really wouldn't bother me there either, so nah.
It's weird, I do take my knitting with me to Gracie's.
But you don't really knit.
I don't really knit because I'm too busy
Talking.
I was going to say gossiping.
Gossiping.
What does your family say behind my back about me doing that? Not very much, because obviously I don't really do it.
My family said, I mean, my auntie already knits, my dad already doesn't have a good word to say about anybody anyway. So there's nothing in my family. I don't really speak to anybody else. So that one's fine. It's sorted.
What would you say I knit the most of?
Socks.
Really? No. Somebody asked that question, did they not?
Your favourite thing to knit?
Oh, my favourite thing to knit.
So that one's what do you knit the most? I would say socks.
Shawls.
Enough. Shawls, maybe.
Shawls.
Actually, yeah.
This year's, but it was not so much knitting because obviously a lot of them were flory and they were Tunisian shawls, but I've done a lot of shawls.
That's a good point. I would have said socks, but you're right, shawls. That was close.
Why do you think I knit? Stabbing's illegal.
Basically, because it's something you enjoy. It's a craft that you enjoy. So I would say it's for that, for therapeutic reasons, because it's something you enjoy. It's probably quite a few reasons you do it.
So don't get stabby.
So you don't get stabby. Stops you from killing me.
You're not on the top of my list for killing. You'd be happy to know
That's
that.
good to know.
Next question. How would you rate me on a crafting skill level? Advanced.
You're no beginner, obviously. You're no intermediate. You can do do some quite complex stuff, and obviously you can do knitting, crochet, cross stitch. You can sew. You can do stuff when you're knitting.
The sewing. I use that term loosely.
you can
the shoddy curtains in the bedroom.
You're naughty. They're passable. But you can do stuff when you're knitting machine. Sewing machine.
Knitting machine.
Sewing machine.
Oh, you did not the knitting machine.
Sewing machine. You can do stuff on your sewing machine. You've got a loom there now, learning.
But saying that, how long did it take me to do something with that sewing machine?
I know, because it's not something you've done a lot, but what I mean is you're multi-skilled.
You bought that in 2007.
I say you're advanced. Advanced crafter. Level 50.
Level saddle.
Level saddle.
See, there's that. What would you do with my stash if I died?
Raffle tickets.
Raffle tickets. Is there anything I obsessed with as much as knitting? Is there anything I'm obsessed with as much as knitting? I've seen that side out there.
Money? You like money? Obsessed with money? Probably no though.
See, I wouldn't say I'm obsessed with money because I spend it far too quick.
Obsessed.
I will never ever be rich.
Pens.
Oh, pens.
Your pen obsession is as bad as your knitting obsession because you have a lot of pens and you really get excited with pens as much as what you do yarn. So
I would actually say
pen fetish.
I have a pen fetish and a really bad pen fetish.
You have a lot of pens.
Bear in mind I've been collecting pens. If I was what?
Pen fiend.
I'm a pen fiend.
You were really young, I'm sure, when you said you started collecting pens. Because I think you said you used to nick your dad's pens when you were really young.
He would have to stop. I'm sure somebody had said he had to stop off. No, what shop was it back then? Because it wasn't W.H. Smith. There was some. Was it maybe? No, Menzies. John Menzies. It used to be at the Queen Street station. He would have to stop off at John Menzies and stock up on pens and blue pounds. That's quite bad, eh?
Blue pounds and pens.
I can mind him that the year he died. And I was 4 when he died.
That's metal, you could remember that far back.
I can remember body searching him for his pens and my blue pound.
The blue pound. What would blue pounds be? £5 or what?
Fiver. And I was 4, and that was 83. That's 5 years right. 583 he died.
You've moved on to pink pounds since then.
No, I don't. Blue pounds do not
Really bother you, do they?
do not much
Need-
for me. Has to be purple, pink, purple,
pink.
purple, pink, or orange. My colour scale's upgraded
you've
slightly.
upgraded
Purple,
your colour
pink,
scheme.
and orange.
I suppose that's inflation, though, isn't it?
That's inflation. For 4 odd years inflation.
I would say pens would be the right answer to that one, like pens.
Pens and paper.
Pens and paper.
Notebooks.
Notebooks. Notebooks and pens, definitely.
How many subscribers do you think I have? You know the answer to this.
I know the answer to that one anyway. You've got 28
I've got 28.
subscribers.
How many subscribers do you think I have on Instagram?
Instagram, I'm not actually sure how many followers you've got on Instagram.
That's alright, now there.
I'm going to take a rough guess and say 56. I could check that.
I have a check.
I'm going to guess and say 56.
The whole
And
subscribers and followers things don't. It's not like Pokemon.
would that be Arya Bark Instagram?
It would be the Arya Bark Instagram.
I have some weird stuff comes up on my Instagram, by the way. See, whenever I go into my Instagram, I get weird stuff. You've got 40 followers
I've
on
got 40
Instagram,
followers.
but there is like weird stuff. I seem to get like that sort of stuff when it comes up on mine. I don't know why.
That's because you keep clicking on it. Have you ever watched my podcast regularly?
I watch every episode of your podcast and your vlogs, Vlogmases.
Yes,
I
you
watch
do.
every single one of them.
What's your favourite podcast that I watch? This is going to be hard because I don't know if you actually know other names.
Obviously, it's slightly. What's the word I'm looking for? It could be slight favouritism because obviously I had never really watched Jane's podcast, which is Mouse Knits and Crafts. See, I know that one.
You do?
I know Jane's one. I like watching Jane's one, but again, obviously, I know Jane's your friend, so I would never have ever really watched Jane's before.
It's not like.
Jane-
I
your
think
friend.
everybody gets the point that you're not actually going watching knitting podcasts on your own.
I like Jane's one because Jane has that friendly face. So when you go into when you watch Jane's podcast, she's one of the people where her eyes smile as well.
Aye.
So Jane's got a smiling face and smiling eyes. It's like your auntie welcoming you home for a hard day at work with a warm bowl of soup is when you see Jane on her podcast.
You're such a suit!
It's true. That's how I see it. She's welcoming on her podcast, so it makes you want to watch because she's welcoming. It's like, there's a friendly face, I'll watch this. So I like Jane's one. So I thought that was a good answer.
See, I'll now have to stop watching Jane's when you're not here, because me and Arya watch her when you're not here.
I know. So who else do I like?
Who else do you like? Watch her chocolate she's about to sniffle it.
No chance.
And I'll have my wool back, thanks very much.
Ah, yeah. You want my socks?
Oh, she's wanting your chocolate
There's no my
buns.
chocolate buns. Because it's obviously I like Jane's one, but there is other ones I like as well. I like Kaz for the Wee So and So. I like Kaz's podcast, and I actually like that lassie you were watching last night. She had her wee lassie on it, but I don't know what that one's called, but I quite like that one as well.
Stitch by Mrs. Steve.
I like that one as well. Obviously, it's no ones I really set out to watch, so I'm trying to think what other podcasts you watch that I like. I like Nathan.
Soap Petition.
Like Soap Petition. I really like it. His one's one of my favourites, I would say. So I would say that was the four that I like. So Jane,
No idea what I watch when you're not here.
Cass V so and so, Jane from Mouse Knits and Crafts. What was it you said? Stitch by Mrs.
Stitch by Mrs. D.
D or T?
D.
D. Like that one, and I like Nathan Soap Petition. They're the four that I like.
You ken Nathan's London, no Ross in America.
No, I know the difference.
I was just clarifying that point.
Of course, Ross is now a big guy.
You watch far. I
know
think
too
you.
much. I think I know far too much.
You know far too much. If I knit your sweater, would you wear it? You have,
Yeah.
even if it's hideous. No, you wouldn't.
If it was hideous, I wouldn't wear it because I would
So
already.
you're saying that one that's fine through in the bedroom's hideous?
What one's
That Tunisian one that I knit for me that was too big.
is that the one with browns in it and everything like that?
No, it's a blue one.
Was that the one that looked like a Blassie's?
No, that was that one that I tried to get you to take and you said no because it looked like a flashy top.
There's none that you've made for me I've no war though.
Yes, there is. The only picture I've got with you wearing it is the picture that I took when Arya, you need to sit. Arya, you need to move your bum. You're about to impale yourself on my knitting. I need to find. It was the Tunisian one that it didn't fit me, it only fitted you.
I don't think I've purposely no wore it.
I can't see that at all. Projects. That one.
Ah, I forgot about that one. I'm not keen on the stripes on that, that's the problem. I don't know, that's why I've not worn that one. It's not as.
Oh, too. I think that's a bit too low. That one.
I like the solid colours. I think probably the reason I'm not wore that, I don't think I suit that. It's not I don't like it, I don't think I suit that. No, with the stripes and the lighter colours, I don't think I suit. Sorry.
That was my jumper. But it didn't fit me. Do I need to go on a fibre diet?
Possibly.
Strict one.
A possible fibre diet just to try and bring down the
Right.
stock levels
Let's be completely clear. My sash down
as a failure.
is failed. Spectacularly.
So I think you do need to go on a wee bit of a fibre diet.
Can that Days with the Instant thing app that I put on my phone?
Mm-hmm.
That's still running.
Right.
It thinks that I've went 451 days without buying yarn. It's like,
That's a lie.
that's a lie.
That's a lie. So I would say a wee fibre diet probably wouldn't help, but it probably wouldn't hurt rather. But I don't think I help that I encourage you to still go and buy yarn as well. So I probably
In
wouldn't
my
help that.
defence, you've never. There has been once or twice where you've went, no, my fit's doing, you're not. I don't think you should be buying that. It's not happened very often. There's at least one time. Hey, the 17 year we've been together, you went, no.
I suppose I don't say no.
No.
I don't say no very often, do I?
We went to Lairg, you found all the wool shops
I did
on the road up.
purposely for you.
We went to Prague,
Looked for wool shops there as well.
you went for wool shops there. You drive me to all shops.
I'm good to you.
You're very good. That's what I am. I'm knowing of. How much do you think my stash is worth?
Oh, what money. I'll bet if you totaled that up.
I can tell you right now the Rusty Ferret stuff's a good amount of money. Because that's an entire
That's got to,
cube.
you're talking 5 figures. I would say you're talking 5 figures the amount your stash is worth. Got to be, surely.
What, just Luna's?
No, I mean.
Oh, do you mean in total?
You're total.
In total, I would
that's the question.
say. How many's 5 figures?
That would be like 10,000 plus.
I'd go higher than that.
I think that's a possibility. I think it'd be worth a lot of money. I don't think I could even put a figure on it. I think I'd be too scared
I
to
think
put a
it would
figure on it.
depend on what you're including in my stash. Bear in mind between the loom and my e-spinner.
But that's including your stash, really. That's other stuff you've got. Your stash is all your yarn.
My yarn, I wouldn't. Maybe 5. 4 for definite.
I would say anyway, at least. It'll be
I'd
worth
say
a
4
lot of
for
money.
definite.
A scary amount of money, I would say. Let's not dwell on it.
Let's not count it.
Let's not count it. Let's just say it's going to be a lot.
But it is a lot of money. I like this. If there was a fire and you could only save 3 of my crafting stuff, what would it be?
That would be easy, because I would grab your loom, I'd grab your e-spinner, and I'd grab as many project bags as I could, because I wouldn't go running about trying to find like your higher sharps and all your individual knit needles and yarn. It'd be like they're just going to have to burn, but the big expensive stuff that's getting taken out of the house, because you could always buy more yarn and buy more knit needles, whereas like your loom, your e-spinner, other stuff that I could quickly
I would
grab.
see that other space. I would hold that up for the table for my loom.
Good point, aye. The expensive stuff that'd be getting taken off.
I'd have to agree with you.
I
would definitely agree with that.
I would save the bigger stuff that came to hand first. Your individual yarn, I wouldn't go mucking about trying to like.
I wouldn't risk your life for pound stretcher wool.
For pound stretcher wool.
That's easily replaced. I'm sure the wee dude would rub his hands when he see me walking in.
Stuff that you'd have to go for the expensive stuff that wouldn't be so easy to replace.
Oh, I thought you were talking about wool there, because I can't think any.
No, the wool would
I
have
can
to be
honestly
left.
say there is no wool in my stash that I would ask you to risk your life for.
But you would ask me to risk my life for your like loom.
Hi.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yes.
I would save.
You are well aware how much that costs.
I would save as much as I physically could.
Don't get me wrong. If it was between one of the animals and my loom would have to burn.
Because I could see your burns aren't that bad. Go back for more.
Mind check under the bed.
You could always get skin grafts.
I would not do that. That would be mean. Checked in the back of the couch. How much yarn do you think I have?
How would I put a figure on that? Like meters? But I would say you've got enough yarn that would stretch to the moon and back another 10 or 20 times again. That is a lot.
Maybe.
If you were to.
How far away is the moon?
Is it like 140,000 miles or something like that?
You check it up and I'll tell you how much I've got.
I'll bet it'll amount to like. I'll bet like it would stuff that would go to the moon and back probably.
Because I think I'm not a kick in the back end of 200,000 metres. I would like an apology, please.
Because that's like That's like 384 million. 384 million plus metres. So I don't think you've got that many. So you probably wouldn't stretch to the moon then. Close. So I think you'd be close.
Don't get me wrong, when you were looking that up, I did start sweating slightly.
Because I could see you making it to the moon with your stash, like.
Yes.
But seeing as that's 384 million metres, I think you've probably got another few weeks to go before you reach that.
I've not added that box on yet.
That's true. You're not far away.
I'm not far away. How many finished objects do you think I've completed?
Do you know the figure, like? Sorry.
We'll say if you're a joint rivalry. Well, we can't say if we were a joint rivalry because it doesn't actually tell you.
I'll bet it'll be 50. I'm going to say ballpark figure 50 finished objects.
Or what period?
Give me an example.
Hold on a minute, because I need to figure out how I actually get it to come up, because you can actually bring up how much. See, I'm not used to doing this on my phone. I'm used to doing it on my tablet, can I see? Right, how many projects so far this year do you think I've completed?
I reckon.
15. 29.
Really? 29?
29 projects I've finished this year.
That's a lot.
A minute, they're whips. That knitting scarf that I cut off far too short and doesn't fit neatly. Your tapas cowl, Noah's shawl, the Ondas lace shawl, my Tranquil Escape, the Looking Glass wrap, the Sedona sweater, the Tranquility shawl, the Bayside shawl, 2 doodles. Because I've done the first doodle shawl, the one that's along the bottom and up beside Laurie's shawl.
Oh, right.
I mean the one that where nobody noticed that there was an extra repeat in it.
Remember you talking about that.
And I had to redo that one. Your sofa blanket, the Serenity shawl, the Edie top, the DK Omni shawl, the Conversion shawl. I've done a lot of shows for Laurie. I've done a lot of shows for Laurie.
I forgot how many shows you'd actually done.
Kind of the majority of my finished objects this year have been Laurie's shows. I think I might need to go to Laurie Anonymous.
Possibly.
I think I got a bit obsessed. The Hollyberry soaps that doesn't fit me. Kind of still bugs me.
What?
That I spent all that time and effort in knitting these socks thinking I was getting 2 pairs of socks and I've got a pair of shorties that don't fit me. And there's you rocking about the house in my socks.
Sorry.
Second to show the 3 Witchweed blankets. Because that was 3 of them I done Andrew's, Ollie's and Lucy's.
Right.
My whatever sweater, your sockhead cowl, that dress that I've still not put the straps on, your Christmas socks, Andrew's cowl, 2 country walk cowls, I've done them, Andrew's Christmas socks, the Milkman's hat and your DK cowl.
You had to bring up the Milkman's hat again.
I'm rubbing it in, Roy. Rubbing it in.
That's quite a lot. 29 projects in a year's pretty decent, really, isn't it?
Alright. How many do you think I've done last year?
I bet it was more last year. I'm going to say last year 35 last year.
29.
That's pretty
I
nice.
seem to be averaging out at 29. Done 28 in 2018.
So you've gone up.
Well, I done 28. So in 2019, I chose to do 24, and I done 29. And this year I done 26, and I done 29.
That's alright, like.
So next year I'm going to do 29.
Well done.
And that's it.
Is that all the questions?
That's all the questions.
Did I do well?
You've done very well. Is there any questions you wish I'd asked you? That I had asked you?
No, I thought they were all quite good questions.
I'm rather impressed.
They made me think. I think I answered reasonably well.
Do you wish I got that obsessed over your hobby?
Yeah.
Would you let me tell you what you're getting for Christmas?
Yes.
I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna look at the berries and go. But I think you're gonna like it.
I'm sure I will. The way he's a tongue, I'm sure I will.
It involves paint.
Paint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
Put my tub of paint.
put your tub of paint, you can do the
Bathroom. I was just gonna say that. What do we do to end your thing?
We did go to Puddle Dub. No, we didn't.
Didn't go to Puddle Dub, we went to the buffalo farm.
We went to the buffalo farm. Didn't go to Puddle Dub. No pygmy goats.
I did try and get a picture of them, but when I went out to their pen, they were all hiding. There was
It
nothing.
was Baltic this morning.
It was
You
cold.
hiding or
It
not?
was cold and it was raining.
You did get the emus.
Did get a picture of the emus.
You got a picture of the chicken and
The turkeys.
the turkeys. And you got a
Some-
picture of some
sheep.
And then we got some footage of sheep. So I'll maybe leave that until tomorrow, depending on how that, because that's an hour and a half.
No.
So this one's quite long. So thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you for your questions, and I will
Thank
see
you.
you again tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.